everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aaliyah, and in today's video you are going to learn how to do a chest stand. So chest stands require a lot of back flexibility, so I definitely recommend doing one of my back stretching routines, whether that's beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Obviously advanced will give you the most advanced of the stretch, and beginner, and then intermediate, So I would go watch that video and stretch out your back first, and then come back to this video, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to get your chest stand. So let's get started. Now that your back is all stretched out from doing the stretching routine, we can start on practicing the chest stand. So I would first say try the chest stand to just see where you're at. If you are too scared to try it though, I do have some tips coming up. So first, I would recommend trying it, and if you've never ever done a chest stand before, so you're doing this video to improve it, you want to learn how to do it, I don't recommend doing it on hardwood floor, even if you do have the yoga mat down like how I have it, because I feel like that would seem kind of more scary. So I recommend doing it on carpet, and actually you can use a pillow first to lay down that your chin will go on, so that you don't have to worry about your chin or chest hurting when you fall forward, but you're really not falling that hard. I would say I don't think I've ever actually gotten hurt doing a chest stand. If you do it incorrectly and you go really hard onto the ground, you probably would get hurt, but the likeliness of that happening is very slim, so there's nothing to worry about. But if you need to use a pillow, you can. So I'll show you one time with the pillow and then one time without the pillow, so you can see the differences, and you can start with the pillow on carpet. I would just start on carpet because that's the best and most comforting. You could even try it on your bed, that would be good too. I have a day bed, so there's rails on both sides, so it's really hard for me to try it on my bed. But if you have just a regular bed, then you most likely can try it on your bed. So I recommend trying it on a bed, a mattress, carpet first, just to get the comfort down. But if you don't have any carpet, all of it's hardwood, even a yoga mat or even a regular gymnastics mat is going to do great. And I've done it on hardwood floor too. It just kind of hurts-ish a little bit more, but not really. So just try it on whatever you got. So first, I recommend setting the pillow down where you think you're gonna land. It might be hard to guess at first though, so you might want to practice. So if you don't know how to do a chest stand, you kind of roll into it. So you can start from up on your knees and like an L shape with your knees, but then you stick your hips forward to be ready to roll onto the ground. Which you roll onto the ground like this. But do you see how the pillow is in the wrong spot? So you can practice that. And if the pillow is here, it's not really going to do much. Or you can, so I'll push the pillow back maybe a bit more, and I'll go back, and I'll try and roll again. I would say it's actually hard to do with pillows because you have to get up and over on the pillows. But you can try with pillows to get the falling down, the motions down. But for improving it, you're going to want to get it so you can do it on the ground. So now I'm going to show you the second way you can fall into it using a pillow, which is also the same for if you're doing this on the ground. You can actually start in a seal stretch, and this one you're going to want to have the pillow a little bit closer, because you start in a seal stretch and then you immediately go down. So you go back as far as you can, and then you go forward, and you I flip my hands to push myself forward. That's just a habit I guess I have. And just practice on the pillow, getting the motions down. And once you have the motions down, even if you saw my legs were not going up and over my head, that is okay as long as you're comfortable with the motions. You can put the pillow away and then try it without the pillow. You can stay on carpet or mattress or whatever, but now just try it on a flat level, no pillow. So I'm gonna start from the knee position, and then I'll do the seal stretch one. With the seal stretch one, it is a bit more of back flexibility since you're already in a back flexibility pose, but they're both fun to do. also just go up with your 2 feet and then just come back down, or you can go up with 1 foot. There's so many different ways to do it, which we will get to in a minute. So now I'm going to show you it from the seal stretch. So you have to pull back as far back as you can, not like all the way to your butt back, but like far enough back that you can have momentum to go forward and go back. Once you pass the pillow phase though, you've pretty much gone the trick. Now it's just a matter of improving it. So good job for you for getting past the pillow phase. So now we are going to, I would practice rolling into it a few times, see which one's more comfortable, and just start with that one and don't worry about the other one for now. But from me standing or from the seal stretch getting into the chin stand or chest stand, once you've mastered just getting into it without the pillow, you can be on the ground. No matter how far forward you are, you can try different positions. So I'll show you the different positions, and then I'll show you what you can do to improve it, because actually doing different positions can help you hold it longer, balance better, because it is hard to balance, but at the same time it's easy to balance. It's hard to balance because it's your back arching and like the breathing is weird when you're in it, but it's easier to balance because it's not like you're on 1 foot. You're kind of like distributing the weight on like the top half of your body, I guess. So it is easier in that sense. So just think about that. And then if you feel like you're like having to gasp for air, maybe take a little break, get some water, and then come back to this later, because you should never feel out of breath when you're doing contortion. You should find ways to breathe into the pose. So I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can get into it. I always like to kick up with 2 legs together and then go into something else, because it's kind of hard to just kick up with 1 leg, so I'll just show you. So usually when you do your split, it's your way to come down a lot, because you're not holding onto your leg. So there is a way that you can pull your leg forward, but that one's really hard, and we're not there yet. But if you want more advanced chest stand poses, I can do a video on how to do that, because that also requires leg flexibility. But the kicking, I feel, is the best way to come down. You can also just come down with straight legs. So I'm going to go up with straight legs and come down with straight legs, which is probably the best way to practice that first. Like that. You can also kick your legs over your head and put them on the ground. So to get there, I would start by kicking your legs up, practicing that, and practicing it going back down. Then kicking your legs up, touching your head, kicking them up, going back down, then kicking them up, and then kicking them bent to the ground, kicking them back up, and kicking them down. Then kicking them up, kicking your legs to the ground bent, and then straightening them, or just kicking them down straight, and then coming back up. So I'll show you all of those progressions. But these, they get kind of harder as you go along. So the first one is just kicking your head. Next one is trying to put your feet on the ground, or even if it's just your tippy toes on the ground, that's great. Straight legs. So I'm first going to do bend to straight, which is, I would say, probably harder than just going straight, but I'll see. I'll let you guys know in a second. I would definitely say bend to straight is harder, especially if you don't have your feet all the way on the ground, because then your feet kind of just shoot out. So now I'm going to just try straight to straight, because that's going to be probably easier. In here, are some tips on how to improve the progressions that I just showed you. So the first one is actually, I don't remember if it's in the back stretching routine. It could be, I don't really know. But it is like you lie down on your stomach, and then I would bend your legs up, and you can grab them like this. And I think this is called the whale. You straighten out your legs, and you keep your arms as straight as possible to like give yourself a back stretch, but it also stretches your shoulders, which is good. And then there's also the one where you go overhead, which is definitely harder. And if you can't do it yet, then try and put your feet against the wall like this, so like your shins and foot are against the wall, and grab it. And also make sure you're grabbing it with your dominant backside, which, if you don't know what that is, it's usually the side that is the opposite side of your leg. So my right leg is my good leg, but my left side of my back is my more flexible side of the back, because when I'm in a needle, I stretch that side more. So if you don't even have your needle yet, you could choose which side of the back you can make more flexible by really stretching your needle on that side, or you can keep it even and stretch your needle on both sides. But just try to grab your foot first with whatever side's more flexible, or try to grab either side and see which one you can balance longer. And the reason why is that helps you balance. So if you're here, you have to hold this one longer than you have to hold this one, because you have to keep this one up while you grab your opposite foot, or it could be vice versa. So you guys can just watch me do it this time. So I start a seal stretch, and then grab my foot, and then I'm going to grab my other foot and straighten my legs. So that's what it looks like. It's really hard, in my opinion. It's one of the harder stretches to do. So you can start by just doing it with bent legs and then straighten them. So you guys can do it with me this time. We're going to bend our legs first and arch back, like look, put your head back, then put your head forward, stretch your lower back, then straighten, look back, and then forward, and then release, and land lying on your stomach lightly. Don't bang to the ground. Now let's do a cat and cow to release any tension in the back. After doing that, I recommend doing that a few times. I just did it twice, and I also did it in my pre-stretch, but you can do it 3 times, 5 times, but make sure you take breaks in between, get some water. This is a hard stretch, so don't be discouraged if you don't get it. For me, the whale stretch is pretty hard for me, but I got the overhead one, but it just depends on what you're good at. The whale stretch more stretches your shoulders, and this isn't really like a shoulder one, but if you're trying to do your needle, then you're probably going to want to do the whale one as well. I would say both. So you can also try and do straighten one leg and bend the other one in that pose, so I can show you what that looks like. Now after doing all of those poses, we are going to take a water break, because as you can see, my dog is hot and I'm hot. It's a water break. Now, let's try it again. Now your back is nice and stretched out, and your chin stand is now a beautiful thing that you can use when taking pictures of you stretching. So yeah, we'll finish with the stretch portion. Bye guys. guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it and if you got your chest stand, then comment down below and also like this video, and be sure to subscribe to my channel because I have a lot more back stretching routines and tricks and tutorials coming up, and also tutorials on how to do all kinds of tricks for dance or really just for fun. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!